Hello students, the topic that we are going to discuss today is matrices. So before getting complete, hello students, the topic that we are going to discuss today is matrices. So first of all, we need to know that what topic we are going to learn in this particular part. Okay, the first topic that we are going to learn is the definition of matrices. Then we are going to learn what are the types of matrices, and finally we will be learning in this part that what are the special types of matrices. First of all, the definition. Okay, so a matrix is defined as an ordered array of numbers. Now they can be used to represent system of linear equations. When we say ordered array of numbers, it means that those numbers are arranged in a particular order. Further, it says that it can be used to represent system of linear equations. As you all know that linear equations are represented in a certain form where the numbers where x and y variables, you can say that variables are involved in terms of 2 dimension and 3 dimensions, right? So matrix, we use linear equations and represented in matrices, represented in form of a matrix, and solve those linear equations with the help of matrices. So first of all, it also says that it is an ordered array of numbers. It can be ordered array of functions as well, but since in this course we will only be dealing about numbers, that how numbers itself are represented in a matrix and what operations do we need to know about matrices. So we're not going to do the function part, but a matrix is defined in ordered array of numbers or in functions. Not you can say that they are defined in both ways, in numbers or in functions, right? Okay, so first of all, the representation of the matrices. Now each element in matrix is identified by naming the row and column in which it appears. In general, the element in row I and column J is represented as A subscript I comma j or a m comma n, where m is representing the row and n is representing the column. Now whenever we write a matrix, okay, a, the capital A out here is representing its element. Any element that actually in general form is represented is written in the form of A. I and J. Now I specifically represents the row part, okay, and J represents the column part. Now it's always written in this form, I comma j, right? So I is representing rows, whereas j is representing columns. Now as you can see, this is a matrix. It's a general matrix. Now it's written a1 comma 1, a1 comma 2, a2 comma 1, a2 comma 2. Now this means this whole matrix, now a can be any number, right? 1 comma 1 is actually defining its position. That means 1 comma 1 means first row and first column. Now as you can see that a of I j is equals to where I is 1 comma 2 and j is 1 comma 2. That means that it has row 1 and it has row 2, right? Same as it has column 1 and it has column 2. So I comma j means element I is representing for row and element j is representing itself as column. 1 comma 1 means first row and first column. 1 comma 2 means first row and second column. Now as the subscripts and superscript, that is how it works. Now this, since it's the first row, this is my first row, right? So 1, therefore in place of position, in place of I, 1 is written 1 and 1. This is my second row, so in place of I it's written 2. Now for column we move vertically, right? For columns we move vertically and for rows we move horizontally. Now for vertically, if you look at it, for column J, now in position of J 1 is written, that means it is column 1, right? For column 2, now this is my column 2. For J2, second column. So this is how it works. Now let's elaborate it. For example, we're using the same matrix. Now out here a1 comma 1 means first element of first row and second, and first row and first column. a1 comma 2 means second element of first row and second column. Okay, so as we move on to 2 comma 1 and 2 comma 2, you can now tell us that that how 2 comma 1 and 2 comma 2 are represented. If I say that a2 comma 1 means first element of second row and first column, right? And a2 comma 2 means second element of second row and second column. Okay, so that is how we need to know that how the elements are placed in a matrix. Now in terms of linear equations are concerned, let's take a number example for matrices. Let's say this is a matrix that has elements 2, 4, 8 and -6. Now if I need to know how to write a linear equation, okay, when a matrix is given, now this is how you write it. First of all, there needs to be some variables. Okay, as you know that if we write it down, any linear equation, there are variables present in there. Why only x and y? Why not 3 variables? See, the numbers will going to decide that how many variables will be taken. It's in terms of, you can say, if there are 2 rows, okay, or you can say, let's say if there are 2 columns, how we will decide that how many variables to be taken, right? So we will be deciding it by looking at the column of the matrix. Now this has only 2 columns. This is my first column, this is my second column. Okay, if there are any n amount of columns in a matrix, then we will work accordingly. Now out here, since we have only 2 columns, so we will be assuming 2 variables for the time. Now for first row is written like 2x plus 4y. Now x and y were the variables. If I just multiply these x and y, we will be learning the multiplication of matrix of a vector of matrix and matrix later. But if I just need to just write it down, how we can write an equation by looking at a matrix, so this is how you write it down. Now this first element 2 is written with x, the second element with y, so 2x plus 4y. Now if you're going to write an equation for this second row, now how will you be able to write it down? Now see, 8x is confirmed, right? 8x. Now what will be the sign? Let's say if I take a general sign plus into -6y, what will it give you? 8 minus 6y. Okay, so this sign depends on the sign. This middle sign actually depends on the numbers, on the sign that is present with the element. Moving on, let's say these are the 2 matrices. Okay, these are matrices. There's a matrix having 2 rows and 2 columns, and the second, if you can look, it has 3 rows and 3 columns, right? Okay, a matrix like these actually break in the form of LDU. Now what is LDU? We need to know that what is L, what is D and what is U. L represents the lower triangle, okay, D represents the diagonal entries, and U represents the upper triangle. Now why it's written triangle, what are the diagonal entries, how we'll find it out? Let's just look at an example. Now as you can see, there are 2 matrices written out here. First matrix which has 2 rows and 2 columns, and second matrix which has 3 rows and 3 columns. Now the entries that are written in red color, those entries you can see they are diagonal. Okay, these are diagonal entries. Okay, principal axis entries, or we say diagonal entries. These are my diagonal entries, so these are D. If we just LDU, if I just add L plus D plus U, so I'm going to get this whole matrix. Okay, so 5 and 5. This is my diagonal. These are my diagonal entries. Lower triangle means the entries that are written below the diagonal entries. Okay. Upper triangle means the elements or the numbers that are written above the diagonal entries. Now if you just look at this example, a 3 by 3 matrix, these are my diagonal entries, that is 1, 3 and 5. Okay. When I talk about my lower triangle, now out here lower triangle is actually represented in green color, whereas upper triangle is represented in blue color. If you just look at the green color, 4, 1, 3, the elements which are below the diagonal entries are called the lower triangle entries. The elements that are written above the diagonal entries are called the upper triangle entries. Now if you just imagine that if you draw a line from 4 to 1, 1 to 3 and then 3 to 4, you'll get a triangle. So that is why it's written, its shape is in form of a triangle. So we just write it down as lower triangle, upper triangle, and diagonal entries are constant, right? So this is a diagonal part. Okay, moving on. We're not going to talk about the matrix dimension. Now a matrix dimension basically tell us about the size of a matrix. Okay, now size means what? Size means that how many rows and how many columns are present in that matrix, or we can say that matrix dimension tell us about the order of a matrix. Okay, that what is the order of a matrix, what are its dimensions. So it tells us about that. For example, if I have a matrix like this, now in previous example what we saw is that we have a matrix which has equal row and equal column. That is, if there are 2 rows, we have 2 columns, where if there are 3 rows, we have 3 columns. Now for this example I've taken a matrix which has different number of rows and columns. That is, for example, out here we have 3 rows. As you can see, the horizontal lines, the horizontal entries are represented horizontally, rows are represented horizontally, whereas columns are represented vertically, right? So we have 1 and 2 columns. How many rows are there? 1, 2 and 3. So there are 3 rows and 2 columns. So you can see that this above matrix has 3 rows and 2 columns. So we write dimension as 3 cross 2, m cross n, which is, or you can say I cross j. Now 3 cross 2, if you just tell it to someone that what is the dimension of the matrix, you won't say like 3 multiplied by 2. When you're talking about matrix and we're talking about dimensions, the dimension will be somewhat pronounced like it's a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay, the order is 3 by 2. That means 3 is representing the rows, whereas 2 is representing the column. Always the first number will be representing the row and the second number will be representing the column. Moving on, we're now going to talk about what are the types of matrices. Okay, so first of all we need to know what are square matrices. Okay, these are the basic knowledge that we need to know before starting some mathematical working in matrices. So these are some basic definitions that we all need to know before starting off. Okay, so square matrix, a matrix in which number of columns and rows are equal is called a square matrix. We saw earlier 2 types of matrices. Okay, one matrix was like how the number of rows, let's say we saw that there was 2 rows and there was 2 columns, right? And then we saw a matrix in previous example which has 3 rows and 2 columns. So if I say the matrix is a square matrix only when the number of rows and number of columns are equal. That means if it has 2 rows are 2, then columns should also be equal to 2. If there are 3 rows, then columns should be equal to 3. If there are 4 rows, then columns should be equal to 4. So a square matrix, the definition is that both rows and numbers should be equal, right? For example, if you just take out an example out here, if you can see how many rows are present in there. There are 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 rows are present. If you look at horizontally, 1, 2 and 3. And how many columns are present? Columns are represented vertically, so this is 1, 2 and 3. So there are 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so when rows and columns are equal, we say that it is a square matrix. We say order 3 matrix with 3 rows and 3 columns. Order 3 matrix means we just write it, since we are talking about its dimension and both are equal in number, we write it as order 3 matrix. Okay, third order matrix, or we say that it's a third order matrix, which automatically defines the third order matrix. Any number matrix third order means it has 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so usually when in previous example I said 3 by 2, that means 3 rows and 2 columns. Okay, the order was 3 by 2. If I say out here order is third order matrix, it's a third order matrix, that means since in square matrix rows and columns are equal, third order matrix means it has 3 rows and 3 columns. Instantly you say order 3 matrix, okay, it is a 3 row and 3 column matrix. Okay, okay, we're moving on to a rectangular matrix. Okay, if a number of rows and columns are not equal, okay, if number of rows and columns are not equal, then that matrix is called a rectangular matrix. See, there is an example, it has 3 rows and 2 columns, right? So the order is 3 by 2. I read it as not 3 multiplied by 2, because in mathematics it's 3 multiplied by 2 is equals to 6. Okay, when we are talking about matrices, the way of pronouncing it is like 3 by 2. Okay, so that means it says, anyone say it has an order of 3 by 2 means that it has 3 rows and 2 columns. Now what are the elements? We're not talking about that right now, but if you're just talking about its dimension and its order, we say that it's a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay, now diagonal elements. Elements A of I comma j or m comma n of the square matrix, where I equals to j or m equals to n, are called diagonal elements, and the line along which these elements lie is called principle of leading diagonals. So now what is that? Now let's just understand this examples, these diagonal elements, with the help of an example. See, elements of the square matrix. Now out here, if you just look what it is written, it's said it is a square matrix. Okay, so we are only going to be talking about a square matrix when we are talking about diagonal elements. So particularly it's written out here, it should be a square matrix. Okay, for a square matrix, if you need to find out a diagonal element, okay, so how will you be able to find it? Where I equals to j, that point of that element where number of column, the position of row and column is same, that line, that elements, those elements will be diagonal. Okay, these are actually called principle of leading diagonal. Now out here, if you see, if you just look at this example, this a11, that means I equals to j. If I is 1, the position of j is also 1. If the position of I is 2, then position of j is also 2. If position of I equals to 3, then j is also 3. So it's written in the first line, where I equals to j means, or m equals to n means, that line, the position where I and j both are equal. Okay, that only those numbers are called diagonal elements. Now a11, a2 comma 2, a3 comma 3 are called diagonal elements. So that is how you identify what diagonal elements are. See, in this example I've written 1 3. This is a matrix of order 3. Order 3 means 3 rows 3 columns, and it is a square matrix. Why it is a square matrix? Because it has same number of rows and columns. Now if you talk about diagonal entries, so 1 11 3 are the diagonal elements. Okay, now row and column matrix, you need to know what are the row and column matrix. Okay, a matrix with one row is called a row matrix, that is 1 multiplied by n. Any matrix, it doesn't matter that how many columns are there. Okay, if it has only one row, then that such type of matrices are called row matrix. For example, uh, this is a row matrix, doesn't matter how many columns it has. That is why it's written 1 multiplied by n. Now in place of m or in place of I, it's written 1. The condition for a matrix to be called a row matrix is that it should only have one row. It doesn't matter how many columns it has. We're not concerned about that. When you're talking about a row matrix, there should be only and only one row. Okay, so as you can see that this particular matrix has only one row, which has element 2, 5, -1 and 5. Now what is column matrix? A matrix with one column is called a column matrix. Now as you can see, m multiplied by 1. We're not concerned, we're not bothered about how many rows are there. There should be only one column. Okay, for example, see, it has 3 columns. It can be m columns, right? It can be 4, 5, 6 and so on. If a matrix, okay, it has only one column, doesn't matter how many rows, that type of matrices are called column matrix. And if a matrix has one row, multiple columns, doesn't matter that how many columns it has, we consider it as row matrix. So for a row and column matrix, we say that a matrix with one row is called row matrix, and with one column, a matrix with one column is called column matrix. Moving on, we're talking about transpose of a matrix. Now it says the transpose of matrix is found by exchanging rows for columns. That is, matrix A, if any matrix is written as A of I comma j, and the transpose of A is A transpose is equals to A of j comma I, where j is the column number and I is the row number of matrix A. Okay, let's just consider an example and talk about it. Let's say we have a matrix here. Okay, it has 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, if we need to find out the transpose of this particular matrix, now these row elements will now be considered as column matrix. Okay, they just swap their positions. When swap their position, all the elements are written. If one first row elements are 1, 2, 3, they will now be written as first column, not first row. Second row elements are 5, 7, 8. These were second row elements, but now they will be second column elements. Okay, so the transpose will be C. First row was 1, 2, 4. Now it is, for transpose, it is now converted into a column 1, 2 and 4. Okay, 5, 7, 6 was previously in original matrix it was second row, but now it is written in the form, when transpose operator is used, it is written as second column 5, 7, 4. Third row was 6, 4, 3. In original matrix it was my third row, but when we use the operator transpose, it is now converted into a column. So this is how transpose operator works. You know, it converts a row into a column. Okay, moving on, we need to know that what are the special types of matrices. First of all, we need to know that what are null matrices. Okay, null means nothing. Okay, when all the elements of matrix are 0, then it is called a null matrix. Null means nothing, right? So a matrix that has nothing in it, it has only zeros, then we say it is a null matrix. Symbolically, we write it as 0, m comma n is equals to a matrix, because a matrix is represented into rectangular arrays. These brackets are rectangular brackets, right? So 0, m comma n means a matrix doesn't matter how many rows and how many columns it has. Okay, m comma n means rows and columns. See, out here I'm using I comma j and m comma n both, so that at some places you'll find written ij, and whereas at some places you'll find written it as m comma n. So you know that both exactly means same. M is row, I representing row, n is column, j representing column. Doesn't matter now if it is written p comma q, any variable that is written first is representing row, second variable position is column. Okay, so null matrix means a matrix of any order. It can be of any order. It can be of 3 by 2, 4 by 2, 6 by 2, 8 by 2 and so on. but it has nothing in it. That all matrix has elements 0. Okay, for example, now see, 0 and 0 is the null matrix of order 2 by 1. There are 2 rows and 1 column. It's a column matrix, but it is a null matrix. Why it's a null matrix? Because it has nothing in it. When we are talking about column matrix, it says that it should be only one column, doesn't matter how many rows in there, but there are elements in there. Okay, they're not completely 0. For null matrix, in order a matrix to be called a null matrix, we say that it should be equal to 0. The elements should be equal to 0. Now the diagonal matrix, right? So diagonal matrix means a diagonal matrix is a square matrix with all the non-diagonal elements 0. Okay, non-diagonal elements are 0. So for example, see, non-diagonal, a matrix, okay, is a square matrix. The condition was it should be a square matrix. As we have seen in diagonal elements, there will be only diagonal entries will be a non-zero number, rest each and every element of that particular matrix will be equal to 0. You can see out here that here only diagonal entries are a zero numbers, right? But all the other elements in this particular matrix are 0. So it's a diagonal matrix. For a of I comma j is equals to 0, for all I is not equals to j. So I is not equals to j means that, you know, when I equals to j means the diagonal elements I is not equals to j is equals to 0. The positions were 0. It is denoted as diagonal of 173. Okay, sometimes in computer languages or in certain softwares, we need to give a command like diag, D-I-A-G bracket 173. Okay, that means it is written something like this matrix. It has diagonal elements 173, rest all the matrices are 0. Okay, so a diagonal matrix is if anyone give you a blank or something and it says that write down DIAG, diag, bracket open 173, or let's say we write it as 546. So only 546 elements will be presented on the diagonal position, rest every other element will be equal to 0. Okay, diag of 8 11 6. See, now 8 11 6 will be on the diagonal position, rest all other elements will be equal to 0. Scalar matrix. A scalar matrix is a matrix whose diagonal elements contain the same scalar values. Now what does that mean? Let's take an example. See, only diagonal elements are non-zeros and should be same, then only it will be called a scalar matrix. Okay, a matrix whose diagonal entries are all same. Now previously we saw that diagonal elements have or diagonal matrix might have different elements on their diagonal, but for specifically a scalar matrix, diagonal entries should all be same, should be non-zero and should be same, rest all other elements should be equal to 0. Now unit matrix. Okay, a diagonal matrix in which all the diagonal elements are equal to 1 is called a unit matrix. Let's say, now this is unit matrix in which all the elements, diagonally the elements are 1. Now people used to confuse it as like, you know, it is a scalar matrix. Obviously it's a scalar matrix, but why we say it a unit matrix particularly is because the diagonal elements are all 1. Okay, when the diagonal elements for scalar matrix should be, they can be 2, they can be 3, they can be 4, and they can be any number. But for unit matrix specifically, if the diagonal elements are 1 and all elements of diagonal entries are 1, then we call it a unit matrix. The condition remains the same, that all other entries should be equal to 0. The above matrix is a unit matrix of order 3, that is I3. It's written in the form of I3, okay, where I3 is representing its order. For example, here is the example. I2 is written as 1 0 0 1. Diagonal entries 1, all other entries 0. If someone writes wanted to write I of 4, then I4 means all diagonal entries will be 1. Okay. Now 4 means what? 4 means a 4 by 4 matrix, right? 2 means a 2 by 2 matrix. The condition was for square matrix only, right? So 1 1 1 1, all the diagonal entries are 1, rest all other entries are 0.